Welcome back to the channel. And on this episode, I am going to take you through my favorite Final Four logos for the men's and women's basketball tournament. Now, we are in March, so it's March Madness time. The tournament has started by the time that you'll see this video. And you know me, you should know my steez by now. I love logos. Logos are my thing. And one of my favorite things about sports are the logos that come of it. Now, the NCAA has decided to keep personality in their championship logos when other leagues NFL. So I am pleased to go through some of my favorite logos for the Final Four of the NCAA tournament. For like the men's and women's, they each have their own unique personality, as they're held in two different places. So each logo has an opportunity to play off of the location, and Final Four logos are some of the inspiration for my national convention logos, because I want my logos to be able to stand next to those and be able to do the same thing, which is excite people about the event, but also the event at that specific locale. So let's jump on into some of my favorites, starting with the women's Final Four. And the website I'm using to look up all these logos is sportslogos.net. Chris, you phenomenal job with this site. I go to this site a lot for inspiration for things, because I don't work in the sports field, but a lot of sports logos inspire what I do. So this website is phenomenal, sportslogos.net. He also has a YouTube channel. Go subscribe to that. But yeah, starting with the women's Final Four, I'm going to start with the 2013 Women's Final Four in New Orleans. Now, the thing that you'll notice about these sports logos for these championships is that the more hype the locale, the more they can pull from the locale, the better the logo could possibly be. So New Orleans, you're typically going to see the fleur-de-lis, but the ornamenting around the Final Four and the vibrant typography work on it's great. Like, it reminds you of some of the street signs you might see in New Orleans, and it's just phenomenal. And it really packs a punch. It does enough to give it personality from the locale, but not too much to where it's distracting. And everything just seems to really work together. And I just love how all that comes together. Now, moving on to another New Orleans, the 2020 Women's Final Four in New Orleans. And I really like this because, like, it's the fleur-de-lis, but then it changes it up. It switches it up, and it has it like as if the fleur-de-lis is opening up, and it has the basketball there, which is beautifully illustrated, and the colors on this thing is fantastic. The typography on the Final Four text, those little details on each letter, like everything is referencing. It makes the Final Four and the women's on top, like it's the street sign that you see in New Orleans with the ribbon at the bottom, the lights in the fleur-de-lis, the crescent inside the basketball. Fantastic, utterly fantastic. And then I'll move on to our first non-New Orleans logo, is the Women's Final Four in 2017 in Dallas. Love the green. It's almost like if it were a neon green in a black background with the city skyline there. You see the Reunion Tower there with the trophy for the championship in the middle there, with the basketball down at the bottom, with the star behind the basketball. It perfectly ties into the city. And I like the colors. I like the vibrancy. I like the trophy like sticking up out. This is just well made, and I'm a fan of it. And then you have the Women's Final Four 2003 in Atlanta. Now, this one is the oldest one on the list, but I really dig how you see the progression. Like if you go on the website, you'll see like all the logos from all the Final Fours and all the championships. And I love how you see the evolution. Like you see the evolution on how, like, as things get more modern. But just because things get more modern doesn't mean all the good logos are in the modern like for the past like 5 years or something. Like there are some logos this is from 18 years ago. 18 years ago is also when I became a brother of Kappa Kappa Psi. So man, I've been a brother for 18 years. Man, I am what they call old. But this logo is fantastic because I like how they took the idea that it's a peach, like the basketball, but they make the basketball into a peach. They have the leaves coming out. Like it's a simple concept that's just well executed. It's a subtle nod to the city. It's a subtle nod to the state that it's in. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Now we are going to move to the men's Final Fours, and we're going to talk about my favorite 4 logos there. And we are going to start with the 2019 Final Four in Minneapolis. Now, the Minneapolis one, if you go, I did a logo for the Super Bowl that was in Minneapolis, and I kind of used some of the same angles because that was the angle of the stadium. And I feel like that's what they were doing here. And I really like logos, specifically like Final Four logos that have an area where you can illustrate some scenery from the place that the games are actually being played. So I love the trees. I love the North Stars there, and the water there. And I love a subtle detail that I really, really like that the designer didn't have to do, but I'm glad they did. So it's like the water is caressing the basketball, but like it's slightly like there's a line of the water, so you can see the activity in the water, and I'm a big fan of that. I love the angles, I love the placement of the NCAA logo, I love the text of the Final Four. Like everything just works together really well here. It's colorful, and it's colorful but also efficient, and it gets the job done. So I'm a fan of the 2019. The 2017 logo for Phoenix. 2017, we got the trophy there, center stage. We have like the banners there. We have the accoutrement on either side behind the text. Those patterns and those angles are definitely reference Phoenix. Definitely reference the West, the Western feel, the colors, the basketball with the sun, with the little sun accents around the basketball, and then the scene of the desert scene below the text. And the text is great. I really like this. This shows you don't have to do too much, but you do just enough, and you'll get it right. You'll get the job done. Now, moving on to, it should surprise nobody watching this video, there is another New Orleans logo on my list of favorites. 2003. Wow, 2003 was a great year for the Final Four, apparently, because 2003 in New Orleans, we got a saxophone there, New Orleans jazz, and we have the basketball that is illustrated in a very unique way, and then you have it's a note. It's a musical note that becomes a basketball at the bottom. The text is fun and vibrant. You got the sound from the saxophone, and the note is from the saxophone playing, and it's the basketball. It's just, this is great. This is fantastic. This is fun. This is energetic. It's not doing too much, but it's very celebratory. And this is a good occasion. This is a hype occasion, and I love the illustration work for this, and I love the text positioning. It's just fantastic. I'm a big fan of this. Now, the final logo I'm going to talk about on this video It is also from New Orleans. Should be no surprise. 1987 Final Four. Let's talk about it. So, I know sometimes you look at old school logos and they may look antiquated. They may not be the best, but old school logos, if you know where to look, it's chock full of gems, because those are the logos that got us to the point that we are at right now. Listen, full illustrated river boat with a basketball playing the trumpet, notes coming out of it. You got the smoke from the riverboat in the background. The notes are coming out the trumpet. This is probably my favorite. Listen, I know, even for me, this is not a logo that I personally would design, because one, I don't draw that well. Number two, I tend to go for the more minimalistic, or even not when it's minimalist, but a simple illustration type thing, like more simple shapes. That's more my wheelhouse, my comfort zone. Fam, this is excellent. This is so excellent. This is a full mural as a logo. 1987 had it good, had it real good. I was looking back at the old schools and I was going through them, and I was like, not that one, not that one. And I saw this though. This is fantastic. This is full riverboat with a basketball playing the trumpet with the no. Oh, A1. That's all. I could gush about this for a while, but just know this is probably my favorite. Well, that's going to do it on this video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below, what is your favorite Final Four logo for the men's and the women's? Is it one of the ones that I talked about? Is it one that I haven't mentioned? Admittedly, I can look at these and my favorites might change, but that riverboat, that never gonna change. That's freaking fantastic. But yes, remember, as you go along in life, teach as you learn and inspire as you do. See you next time.